Hogwarts Legacy is a narratively driven game, but we should have the agency to progress the story at our own pace. This should leave plenty of time in between main story missions for open world exploration, side quests, and of course crafting. Although Avalanche Software said that they're not going heavily down the simulation route with this game, it still seems like they spent some quality time developing some activities for us to do that I would say fall within the crafting department. The Room of Requirement seems to be where most of this will go down, as in Hogwarts Legacy it acts as a sort of central crafting hub for players. In Wizarding World lore, the Room of Requirement is located on the 7th floor in the left corridor of the castle, and its entrance is opposite a tapestry that depicts a wizard attempting to train trolls for a ballet. The catch with this room is that it's a secret hidden room that not many know about, and the door will only reveal itself to a person who is in great need of it. In fact, the way to get the door to appear in the books was to walk past it 3 times thinking about what one needed. The room will then magically transform itself into whatever the witch or wizard needs at that moment in time, as we can see occurring in this clip right here from the gameplay reveal. In the Harry Potter books, the room was famously used as a hideout and training grounds for Dumbledore's army, and also used as a place to hide things, as Harry and Draco both used it for that reason, and even Lord Voldemort used it to hide one of his Horcruxes. In Hogwarts Legacy, it's clear that our character will be in need of a place to not only hide things, but also a place to become more powerful through activities such as crafting. Stepping into the Room of Requirement, we can see that it is quite large. And actually, when the player walks over to the cat plates on the wall, he passes a staircase that appears to lead to a side room. In this player's room, there's also this upper area, which basically surrounds the entire central room, and we can see what I'm guessing are the entrances to 2 out of the 3 Vivariums currently in this player's room, with the third one of course being right here. The Room of Requirement offers players several personal room customization options. We're told that we'll be able to make this a unique place of our own that represents our own personal tastes. Watch this wizard change the architecture style of the ceiling from a scientific-themed ceiling to a botanical-themed ceiling. You'll also notice that there are 4 unique ceiling designs that we're able to see. On the top right of the interface, you can also see the option to change the ceiling's color. After carefully rewatching the gameplay, I noticed that the stairs right here became highlighted when the player's camera pans past them, and this tells us that we'll likely be able to customize a lot more than just the ceiling. Customization is more than just room architecture though, as right here you can see the player conjuring up a small scientific rug, which costs them 2 moonstones. Moonstones are going to be one of the core collectible resources in Hogwarts Legacy that allows you to do the base crafting of pieces of furniture, crafting stations, and more. Moonstones are the primary conjuration resource that can be found throughout the world, and they look like this. These 3 moonstone deposits yielded the player 8 total moonstones. You may also notice that when the player gets rid of certain conjurations, they're given back moonstones. Before you're able to conjure things though, you must first have the recipe for it, and I'm assuming that there will be a certain amount of base recipes that we all start with, but we're also told that recipes can be purchased at Stones and Scrolls in the village of Hogsmeade, and they can also be found as rewards for completing some gameplay challenges. Before the player is able to conjure the rug, they bring up the conjuration interface, where we can see 12 different conjuration categories, all representing different types of stations, furniture, ornaments, etc., that you can conjure up. And in the rug category, we can see that this player has 12 different rug schematics or recipes. We also got to watch the player mess with an already conjured chair, and you can see that you can change its appearance, its positioning, its color, and even its size. We also see the player mess with frilly cat plates, change the look, color, and positioning of a planting station, transform a ruined tower in their vivarium into a ruined archway, change a bench, conjure a beast feeding station, conjure a beast toy box, change a heathered bush into a shrub, mess with some trees, turn a standing stone into a large hippogriff statue, change pumpkins into a hammer and anvil, and lastly mess with a wishing well. Don't forget though, in the gameplay reveal, we also learned that this cottage right here in the Vivarium is also customizable. Before we move into the different crafting stations, I do want to point out the highlighting of objects once again, as it seems like most of the things that you can see in this room are in fact customizable to some degree. If you are enjoying this video and are interested in some more Hogwarts Legacy content, I do appreciate you considering hitting that subscribe button. Moving on to the actual stations, this right here is a potting station where you'll be able to grow magical plants that can actually be used in combat, as you can see the player right here using a baby mandrake to stun enemies, or sending out Chinese chomping cabbages to bite opponents, and even dropping down a venomous tentacula which acts as a sort of poisonous turret. We also got to see this potting station, which offers 3 smaller pots for plants that require small pots. Growing plants does take time, as you can see a 25-minute timer on the venomous tentacula. Plants that you grow will also be able to be used in potion crafting. This brings us to the potion station. To craft this T-shaped potion station, it costs 40 moonstones, and you'll also notice that there is a potion station budget that says progress room of requirement missions to increase the budget. We know for a fact that we'll be able to make invisibility potions, the Wiggenweld potion, which seems to be the default healing potion. And on the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter page, Avalanche actually dropped a little video on this one, and we can see that to make it, we need to grow Dittany for its leaves, and also find or possibly grow Horklumps, which are mushrooms that we need the juice from. We saw the Edoras potion, which is a defense potion that covers your skin in a rocky material, reducing incoming damage. To make this potion, you need Ashwinder eggs and mongrel fur. The potion of luck, the Felix Felicis potion, has been confirmed. And we also know that there will be a focus potion that reduces cooldown timers for spells. A few scenes of potion crafting that we saw in the gameplay reveal seem to contain interactive cinematic scenes, as the player moves their joystick and presses X to drop Horklump juice into the cauldron. But if I had to guess, this may be when they're initially learning in potions class. And that's about all we got for potion crafting at this time. This station right here is an identification station, and this is where you'll bring back magical gear that you're uncertain about to learn of its properties. The Enchanted Loom is a station where we can upgrade our gear's offense and defense, and also add magical traits. To upgrade this Snowy Owl Scarf defense rating to 4, it costs 2 mooncalf fur. You can actually have mooncalves living in your vivarium, where you can have a steady supply of fur coming in. Once this defense upgrade occurs, one of these 3 mini bars fills in, making it seem like we can only upgrade a piece of gear 3 times in this way. We may actually have to decide how many, if any, do we want to put into increasing defense over offense. To upgrade this uniform's offensive rating to 6, it requires 3 jobber knoll feathers, and to further upgrade it to 18, it requires feathers, niffler fur, and toadwarts. It gets a little deeper than just defense and offense values though, as below that section there's another section where you can see a gear's traits, and the scarf currently says trait slot level 2. This player has discovered 25 traits, and the ones that we could see all offer damage mitigation from different types of enemies found in the game. Dark wizards, dugbogs, goblins, and fury, which are undead, spiders, trolls, and more. To apply the anti-venom trait, which decreases damage from spiders, it requires 1 puffskin fur. Gear will also have different rarity ratings, as this uniform is legendary, represented by orange. The scarf is extraordinary, represented by purple, and the gloves are superb, which is blue. We also know that we'll be able to craft our own gear, but there's no footage to show for that yet, and we'll be able to change our gear's appearance whenever we want on the gear screen. And last but certainly not least are the Vivariums, which are our magical zoos, which seem to be really important for overall crafting. I'm going to keep this section somewhat short, as I will do a dedicated video on this soon. In our Vivariums, and yes, we will be able to have multiple of them, each representing different types of biomes, we will be able to nurture magical beasts that we save from poachers out in the open world. These magical creatures can be found in beast dens, which are marked with a paw icon on our minimaps. If you do a good job caring for your magical creatures and petting them, playing with them, and, of course, feeding them, they will reward you with ingredients for other crafting activities. Right here you can see the player conjure up a beast feeding station, which will allow beasts to get food on their own, so you don't have to feed them manually. You can also conjure up a toy box to keep them happy, and there's even breeding pens that you can conjure up, and you may also notice that each creature does have an assigned sex. There's likely much more to the room of requirement and crafting activities, but we're going to have to wait for more information. Thank you all so much for watching, much more Hogwarts Legacy content to come, and I'll catch you on the next one.